Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go. 60 or.
Let's go, D. Check 50. Check 50.
Let's go.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Recon, 132 fighter. Let's go.
On 2nd down, Minshew. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Coming to you. Mike 41. We've got to wedge that, huh?
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. Keelan Cole, the intended target. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try to.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone.
Let's go now.
He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 9-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, foxtrot. Ready?
Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turn the block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Flushed out right. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup of 6 there on 1st down. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Go.
Now a toss play. It's Hines. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines His 11th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Minshew. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. A first scoring update now from Carolina. And it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Locke. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
First down, Indianapolis.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the gun, here's Locke. Able to find the rookie from Ohio State, Paris Campbell. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Jaguars' 18-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Luck going to try to run the option left. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Check out. 5, 6, 5.
Hey, hey. Watch 12. Watch 12. You got nothing.
11 feet.
You got nothing.
Chance, my chance, my chance.
Luck now to throw. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Colts 14, Jaguars nothing.
Here we go, here we go. 50, plant.
Here we go. Check, 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 check.
Go, go.
Minshew, 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Fournette. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Topper! Ready, ready?
From the 31, Minshew. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Say, lock it. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the
blitz coming, and down he goes. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
47 from Mike, boy, 47.
Chavo.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Hatchet.
They run with Hines. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Watch the screen.
3rd and long, it's locked. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. This will be fielded at the 17. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
61, matchbox, light, get it.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. Darius Leonard, last year's leading tackler as a rookie in the NFL, in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun is Minshew. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 40.
The This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On the draw, this is Fournette. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the 17, Minshew. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
He's brought down at the 31. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Whoa.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Locke. Now a hit, and Locke lost the football. It's out. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
Ready.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2nd and goal at the Colts 15-yard line.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Minshew. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Josh Oliver, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
At the 27-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player? No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Love. He's going to go deep for Funchess. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter. Now a hit and lost the football. It's out. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On second down, it's Hines. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long third down.
675.
Out of the gun, Luck. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Very good return that time. 18 yards. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
Down. 70, Indy. Come on. You better bring it. Down.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Colts pick it up. The 40. Past the 20, 10, and they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, or they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that makes it a 21-10 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
The Jaguars take over first and 10.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
All day, every day, any day. Go.
Now Minshew. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard.
Result of the play, first down and 10.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Close. Go. No. 6-6. Pull it high.
Here's Hines on a toss play. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Jaguars' 31-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, 11. Check.
Now Love. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get the all-pro guard there, Quentin Nelson. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
I'm coming after you.
Throwing his Luck. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Love. To the right side to Eric Ebron. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Now it's Luck. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And Vinatieri's kick is good. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
He's not going to get me.
Foles. And he'll be brought down by the the Colts. Justin Houston in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he's going to go down again. Jabal Sheard make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
This is fielded at the 27. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They begin the drive with Hines. And an alley to run. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards on the play. First down.
1st and 10 at the 37.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Foles. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A big play there on the catch and run, and even 50 yards. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now Foles. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Another try after the first down sack. Foles.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack.
Ain't no such thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on from the right hash. This from 45 yards away. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Check 31, check 31.
Go ahead.
Check safety. Shift. Slam.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5.
Keep it up, guys.
Now it's Hines. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ricky. Bang, 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 bang.
They'll try the air now with Locke. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Watch the boot. Switch.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
He doesn't get many opportunities to carry it, so he's got to maximize. In this case, after dropping it like that, I think his number's going to go way down. What do you think?
Yeah, and sometimes those fullbacks, let's just be frank, they usually don't have the hands that the running back does.
And it's hard for them.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
49, check 49.
On.
Watch out.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
Stop your whining. Switch. Check three. Shift. Check 99. Kill.
They'll run on first down. Hines. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They run again with Hines. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Be alert.
I
got him.
Second and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Check 53. And watch that. And watch the ball.
They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Lee. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards, the final tally. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win.
And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they could look at.